All right. Welcome to the podcast.
The podcast ever.
Yeah, that. Okay. I think I have to add the icons now.
It's a classic.
I don't even remember what scene that's from.
Oh, wasn't that the TV repairman one? No. It was the one where Newman was cheating on, the guy's wife, like the landlord's wife, was cheating on him with Newman, and then Kramer and Newman reversed their peepholes. So the guy was looking for Kramer because he was figuring out something, or maybe like why the hell they reversed the peepholes. And then he looks in, he's like, Kramer's trying to look at him. He's like, I can see you. I think that was it.
That might have been in the later seasons. I started rewatching it and then I just stopped.
Well, it's good. You should finish it. Well, I mean, I don't know about the ending. Everybody talks about the ending and they're like, well, it wasn't the way to end it, you know?
I mean,
I've been watching King of Queens because I am a refined guy who likes a good Kevin James. Yeah.
I was waiting for you to put a noun there.
No. I like a good Kevin James. That is the noun. So how was your Black Friday?
Non-existent because I am poor.
Well, that's what it's all about.
Being poor?
Well, you get deals when you're poor. You know, I mean, that's they call it Black Friday because the poor people go out and, you know, steal because they're black and that's their Friday.
That's a valid,
Have you not seen the videos? You know, I was actually asking my parents about this during Thanksgiving. I'm like, you know, what's with the Black Fridays these years? Like they're making them all week instead of one day. And what I concluded is because, you know, just so many years of people chimping out, you know, they just decided, you know, we cannot be having that every single night. You know, it's Thanksgiving night, just having people like storm in and start stealing everything or taking our TVs or whatever. And not even for good deals, you know, like they have like a $600 TV. That was already, if you saw this, like literally at Target, like they had deals on, like, I don't know if it was a TV or what, but it was like $650 on sale already. And then somebody pulled over the tab, like, because it says Black Friday deal $650. You can see that it was already on sale before Black Friday for $650, whatever it was. So, you know, these prices aren't even changing.
So they just put sale and like, don't change the price.
Yeah. They put Black Friday sale over the original sale ticket. And just leave the price the exact same. Well, it's a Black Friday deal.
Yeah, I mean,
but it doesn't matter when you're stealing it. You know, if you're taking the TV and you're fleeing, you know, have you watched It's Always Sunny?
Yeah. A bit
so
of
you know that episode where Frank is talking about like videos like during a hurricane when people are getting ready, like prepared and all that. But then he's showing like, he's showing the videos of like black people stealing TVs and all that before. He's like, look at that, D. You know, like why do people call this looting? And D's like, well, I don't know. You know, maybe because they're taking TVs. He's like, but what if it's a whole bunch of white people, you know, taking stuff? And she's like, well, usually when white people are taking stuff before hurricanes, it's like bread and water. And he's like, well, there could be bread in the TVs.
The store manager's like, hey, they never expect for the bread to be in the TV.
Yeah.
Watch, you're going to get a nice surprise when they steal our TV.
Yeah. You know, I had an African-American gentleman today ask me for money outside of UPS. He was telling me like, you know, I need to get back home, like the subway, or it was like a bus fare or something. He's like, it costs $37, man. I need help, man. You know, can you just give me some money? $37. Yeah, that sounds exorbitant, you know?
That's like an odd price to put it at too. Even if that is true, why would it be 37?
It was kind of far, I guess. But you know, 37. Have you ever heard of a bus charging that much?
No, I've been on a bus. Then it basically went from the other side of town to the other, and it was like maybe $10.
Yeah, I don't know. I gave him money because I don't know. You know, he opened a door for me, so he did provide me a service. He actually opened it twice.
Fair.
He opened, because I was bringing a bunch of packages in. I went 2 trips and he opened the door both times. You know, if you think about it, it's almost like I'm tipping him.
You're going to tip the doorman?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I did. He actually did provide a service, but he was like, pestering. I was about to say molesting. He was pestering other people around, like this college looking kid. Like he was like, hey man, you know, like telling him the same story too. I don't even know what he was telling him. He had like some Amazon package on him.
Yo, there's like this guy around where I am where and it's like near the university area, sort of. So like people are always there. And he always comes up and he gives you like a full monologue about like him being in Vietnam and stuff like that. And then at the end of it, he asks, "Can I just get some bus fare?" So he's like hyping it up. He's giving you like a full Shakespeare performance before he asks for money.
Yeah, no, actually, speaking of that, there was this other guy. He was outside of this this Walmart, right? This notorious Walmart, and he
aren't they all notorious?
Kind of, yeah. But he was outside and I was with a friend and we were like just passing by and he's like, "Hey man, please, you know, I ain't usually beg like this, man. You know, I don't do this. I never do this. I'm ashamed to do this for people younger than me. But man, you know, you see my arms, they're heavy, you know, like he's like got like bulky arms. He's like, man, I be lifting stuff, you know, all day. I be doing work. But you know, I'm struggling for my rent, man. You know, my family's there. They need me, man. You know, I just need some money for now. You know, I need to make this rent payment just today, whatever." And like he, like when I was with my friend, at least this time, he's just like, please. And he's like crying. He's like on the verge of tears. And so my friend, he actually does give him the money. And afterward is his justification for it. It's like, well, he gave me a show, you know, he actually cried for me. But you know, the thing is, I've seen that guy more than just once. Like he has been there multiple times and has actually asked me specifically for money in the exact same spiel. Not really the crying every time. Actually, that was like more of a one-time thing. But no, he's like hustled out there. And you know, after you pull out, like I look back at what he's doing after I leave, I see him talking to some other guy that's like homeless there, like, you know, on the side next to a tree. Like it's almost like they're just like in between shifts, like just talking, you know? And so like they're just waiting for the next hunt. I
mean, think about it. What is the difference between what he's doing and like a Jennifer Lawrence type person? Like they get on this. The only difference is it's recorded, really. They get on screen, they cry, maybe laugh a little bit when they don't really feel the need to cry or laugh. And then they get paid. So
you're telling me what we're seeing is more like a performance art.
Correct.
Okay.
We're getting like the underground performance art, the real good stuff. You know what they say? Once it goes mainstream, it sucks. And I mean, we see the evidence.
Just because the guy's black, it's not underground.
Well, it's not getting recorded. That's the thing.
Yeah, but it's not
urban. Getting mainstream coverage.
It's urban. It's independent. You know, it needs some funding.
Yeah.
You know, whether you want to or not. And, you know, if it's nighttime, it's more like if you don't want to, but you're going to give it up anyway.
Sorry, what?
You know, I'm just saying, like, you know, you pay for the performance, whether you want to or not, in one way or another. And if it's nighttime, it's going to be because you don't want to.
Yeah, see, that's really what breaks new ground. Before, the audience has to pay, and whether they like the performance or not, they still pay in a certain way. But now you can pay in a different way besides financially. Well, I guess that's still financially, but you can pay in a way that isn't typical to the norm.
So I had a gay roommate, and the thing with him was that like he was telling me one time, because this was around when like COVID was a thing. I wasn't actually at the apartment. I was at home, but he was telling me like, man, you know, one day I was in, you know, in town and like I was going near, and I think this was near the Walmart too, but he was telling me that there was like this homeless guy. Like, I don't know if he was asking him for money or what. The guy was on drugs. He started like trying to fight my roommate. Like he straight up just trying to like, I don't know if he was trying to stab him with a needle or what, but the roommate told me, yeah, I just ran. Like, I don't know if he was trying to like, cause he was asking me, should I have done that? Almost like, was I a pussy, you know? And it's surprising, you know, usually gay people won't ask something like that. They'll just kind of run and not feel bad about it, you know?
True. So wait,
I don't know why he would need to feel man enough.
Did he ask for money first and then he got denied, then he attacked?
You know, I don't know the exact story. I think it's possible the guy just went for the attack. Like he probably was on heroin or something.
You would think heroin would make you less violent.
Then it was probably cocaine or crack.
See, he knew what he was doing. Like he was going up to his like local dealer and he's like, yeah, man, I know I want to feel good, but at the same time, I got to work, you know, I got to go in for the kill. And the guy's like, okay, you don't need this. What you really need is some crack or cocaine. You know, meth works as like a substitute drug for what he was probably doing. Cause I feel like he was injecting it. It sounded like a story of not of smoking or snorting, none of that. This guy had to be injecting. Because it sounded like the fear was this guy was going to get poked with a needle. Yeah, coke and crack are kind of like designer drugs too. So I don't know if he could afford that. Yeah, I mean, well, at least coke. Well, that's like the white girl drug, you know. It is the white girl drug, and it's not fake news. It's not fake news. They actually do it. You know, I was listening to another podcast that I'm not going to name drop for obvious reasons, and they're saying like basically if you're in a party or whatever, or in like a social setting, and there's like hot women around there, and you like drop the hints that you may or may not have cocaine, then they're down for it, basically.
Like they're down. They're DTF?
Down. That's what the implication was.
Okay. Well, of course, but like, I mean, you could do that with weed too. It's just, the thing is like,
I mean, really go crazy over weed though?
They'll fiend. I think they will, as long as it's not readily accessible, they'll fiend for it, but that's the thing though. Like, girls that smoke weed, like they're going to smell, I don't know. I get a like kind of an ick, almost like, that ick thing. Yeah. It almost kind of just gives me that when I see girls, they're like, oh, I'm 420 friendly, like, and we've talked about this too. In like the fucking dating apps, they'll have like leaves blowing, they'll have leaves blowing and it's like that friendly, like they'll put an emoji and then say friendly after. Meaning they're 420 friendly, or they'll literally just say 420 friendly. I hate, just looking for a plug. Yeah, that's a classic. But no, it gives me a disgust when I see those leaves in their fucking bio. I don't like it. It's kind of like it's trashy, but it's almost like, I don't know. It's like the girl could be really attractive, but then I see that and I'm like, no, It's a
lot more attractive ones I've noticed. Like before, you'd be like, oh, okay, I can tell just from looking at you, but now it's like, what the fuck? What are you doing?
It's a mix for sure. Well, it's just so like, it's so widespread, but just like them when they need some weed, but the thing is, the thing is, it's like, yeah, I don't know, but also, they also always have tattoos too. If it's the hot ones that want weed, they always have tattoos as well. And that's also like something I don't like either. I know you don't like that, but and also piercings a lot of the time, but less, I think it's more tattoos than the piercings. But the thing is, this actually the piercing thing makes me think of another conversation I was having with one of my friends, the septum piercings, like almost one of the worst piercings to have on your face. But
are you talking about the ones where it's like they're jutting out and they're like pointed, or the ones where it's like two balls? You know what I mean?
Either one makes you look like a bull, but I think, the balls are not great, but the ones that are like spikes coming out are the worst, I think. I already don't like the balls, the balls, I don't like them, it's weird, but no. Point being,
the spikes.
Point being, I saw this post that really made sense because it's already something I was saying, but then I saw a tweet and it just really encapsulated how I'd been feeling about it. I think the tweet went like, an attractive girl can have a septum piercing and doesn't really change anything, but it doesn't add anything. Like it just kind of like leaves the girl unfazed a little bit in your eyes if she's already hot, but if she's ugly, it makes her uglier.
I don't know if I agree with that. I agree with the latter half for sure. But like if I see a hot girl and then she has a piercing, it's like, oh, like it's not necessarily like a done deal where it's like, okay, that's over.
Well, see,
it's
that's
more
what
like,
I'm saying.
Shit, now I have to take this into consideration.
That's almost what I'm saying there with it. It's like, it's not
like you're saying like it's not like breaking anything, because you said like it doesn't add anything, but it doesn't make it like better either.
Yeah.
Which would kind of imply that's like neutrality.
Yeah. I mean, it's not really a neutral thing, but it becomes more neutral the hotter the girl is.
That's true. It's definitely like an incline, the hotness versus the piercing thing.
Yeah. But I'm saying the uglier you get, the worse it makes you look.
It's always the fat ones.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost like a guarantee, unless they're Christian. If they're fat, they'll also have some form of piercing.
Oof.
Because like at that point, they get to the point where they're like, oh, I don't need no man. I'm just scared to fuck, whatever, that kind of shit. They've accepted the fact that they have a problem, they acknowledge it, and they're choosing not to do anything about it. So then they're just like, okay, might as well just fuck myself up entirely. Because I can just do whatever.
Who told these chicks that nipple piercings were a good thing,
I prefer that over face piercings, if I'm being honest.
It's just weird, man. It's like that. I mean, I get it. I get why you're saying that, but like it ruins good things,
It's like the tramp stamp thing now. If you have like pierced nipples, it's like a sign of a promiscuous woman usually.
Yeah. I actually saw like an ad for fake ones that you like put on pasties and then you just put them over your nipples, like to make it look like you have pierced nipples. Like apparently it's such an attractive thing that girls will fake having them.
It, what the
I think they just don't understand what guys want.
Why? Like, if you're going to do it, I mean, I guess it's better not to do it, actually, but at the same time, it's like, if that's what you want, wouldn't it make more sense to just actually have it?
Do you think, like, because I'm saying, like, I don't think they get what guys want, but maybe do you think it's sort of like a thing where they're doing these things to make themselves look more promiscuous than they even are, to get guys' attention, to think, yeah, this is an easy fuck?
Definitely. And then they think that's what the guy wants, and then the guy leaves her, and then it's like, shit, what'd I do wrong? I don't know, maybe everything.
Well, see, it's kind of like junk food that they're turning themselves into, because it's like you feel sick after you eat it, and then you just don't want to eat it anymore. You actually want to get away from it after you've eaten it. It's kind of that same thing where it's like it's very attractive for the moment. You eat it, and then you feel sick. You just feel disgusting, you know, as opposed to a nice steak, you know, a beautiful steak, all natural, nothing on it really, anything. You know, it's that is the way that the universe intended that steak to be, and you love it, and you keep wanting to go back. You keep wanting to go back.
I actually, this like after the gym, this is like a common thing. I used to go to the gym with my buddy, and now his schedule's kind of screwed up now. So it's more of like a, we'll see what happens type of thing. And it's most of the time I end up going by myself. But what would happen is we'd get out of the gym at like midnight or something like that. And it'd be like, okay, well, now I got to worry about cooking stuff. And he's like, well, do you? And then we go to like McDonald's or something, because it's like right there. And at the time, like after like a strong workout, that is amazing. It's great. Then like immediately after, you're like, wow, I could have eaten like literally anything at my house that was better than this. And then on top of that, you get the stomach pain later, and you're like, oh shit, that was an awful experience. I should not have done that. And then you do it again though, because you're in the same position over and over again. But then eventually you're like, yeah, this is just absolutely destroying my person, basically. And then like going back to the steak thing, the steak, it's nice and natural, you know, as you said, it's got way more nutrition to it. It's really just adding to your life rather than detracting from it. And then on top of that, at the very least, all you have is maybe a homemade steak sauce. You know, then you can remove the sauce if you don't like it too. And the salt. That's basically it. You don't really need much more. Like, you know, if you're going out for a nice steak, then you're like, okay, let me get some sauce on there. But every now and then you're just like, no, I just need a nice, plain, natural, unadulterated piece of meat on my plate.
Pause.
I was talking about steaks.
Yeah, I know. But I just had to say it anyway, just because of the phrasing, you know.
Fair.
I ruined it maybe, but I don't know, you know, like,
but you see what I'm saying, yeah?
Yeah, no, I do. I don't know, man. You know, what's the moves as far as passport bro stuff? Just going into that immediately. You know, I was thinking about it, man. Like, but you know, the thing is, I was trying to tell my friend about that, and I was like, man, I need a nice South Korean or Argentinian woman, you know, one of those. And then he told me, like, yeah, I got this this girl that, you know, I know she might be single, you know, she's good people, all that. I'm like, you know, oh, where's she from? Oh, she's Guyanese.
Okay, is that the one in Africa or the one in South America? I get those two confused.
Isn't that in Africa? I don't know. It's like she's like Indian.
Guinea and then there's Guyana.
She's like Indian.
So wait, god damn it! No, yeah. Because that's the one in South America. Because there's a French Guyana, and that's like part of France still. And there's like regular Guyana, and then there's Suriname. That's like right above Brazil. Yeah, that's and for whatever reason, there's like a ton of Indians there. I don't know why, but
yeah, I don't know. I tried adding her on Snap to see what she looks like, but you know, I couldn't see.
That's a real gamble.
Yeah, I know. That's why I needed to add her first.
He said she's good people. Now, does he mean?
That's what he said. You know.
Do I know this person, by the way? You don't have to name drop.
No, you don't know this guy.
Okay. Based on if I knew them or not, I could determine whether or not he's like good for his word or not.
Well, you know, the thing is, like, it's mixed, because when there's a really good looking woman, he can acknowledge it. But also, he kind of falls for women that aren't that attractive in the face, but have like big proportions, not in the fact that they're like, you know, literally obese, but sometimes even that, you know, like as long as they have thick thighs, tall statures, you know, that kind of thing, bro, he falls for those chicks. So I don't know. I don't know if I should trust him on that.
Well, I mean, is she in America?
Oh yeah, no, she is. No, and that's the problem too. You know, like he was talking about the high school she went to and all that. And then, I mean, I know of that high school because like this is a local guy to me. But I don't know, like, you know, based on the sound of it, if it's somebody he knew and like, you know, she went to that school, I don't know. She probably got around, you know?
Oh, it's like a neighborhood bicycle kind of situation.
It might be. It might be. The snap score might be high. What's with that too? The snap score.
I don't fuck. I haven't been on Snapchat in a while to know what a snap score is. Please explain.
No, it's okay. So it's like this little like a number that's on your profile that as soon as you click the person's profile, you can see. And so like me, for example, I've had Snapchat since I was like in, I don't know, 7th, 8th grade, something like that. I have a snap score of not even 40,000. It's not even there, but you can see some of these chicks that their snap scores are in the hundreds of thousands. And that snap score adds up whenever you text somebody. I think it's whenever you text, but it goes up, especially when you're sending like photos and videos and all that. I need to know exactly what you need to do I think it might be stories and so on, but basically the more you're on the app, the higher the score builds up. And so then the thing with these chicks is like if they have like a 200,000, 300,000 snap score, they're kind of notorious for getting around. You know what I mean? I saw one that I was looking at that had like 700,000, you know? And that's
I decided to look up my snap score and it's like 120,000. I don't even use this app. I have like streaks of people and I'll forget about them for like 5-6 days and then just start it up again. So I have no idea.
Maybe it's the streaks that are doing that.
I guess it is. But I mean, damn.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of like I compare that to like Instagram follow count. You know, if she's got like over 1,000 followers, you just know.
Yeah.
It's the snap score too. It's like if it's over 100,000, you know.
See, unless you're monetizing that, I don't really see the point in that. I guess it's just attention seeking now.
Yeah, he was telling me about some other chick we went to high school with, and then he was saying like, "Oh, well, she started OnlyFans and then she deleted it after." It's kind of funny, you know. How can you just return that? You know, you've already done it. He said he thinks it's because she wasn't making a lot of money.
That's not a good sign.
Yeah, I know. Well, you know, I don't think they actually make a shit ton of money just by default. You know, they make some money, but it's like if you're not making an income to like live off of it, I don't think it's worth doing. Like at least even in these chicks' minds.
That makes sense. I mean, you would think at a certain point the market would get so saturated that it's hard to like penetrate it. But every now and then I'll see like, you know, people talking about stuff on Twitter or like videos or like shorts of stuff on Instagram or on like YouTube or on other podcasts and stuff like that. And like every single one of them is like on OnlyFans. And they're like, yeah, I do that full time. I'm like, what the fuck? How is there
somebody has to be getting the money.
Huh?
Somebody has to be getting the money. It's like, so there are guys paying. Which, you know, why? You can get that, you know, honestly, you can get it for free.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you wanted like porn or whatever.
No, you could pirate. No, you can pirate their accounts, like the content on there. Even Kanye said he just got his shit from Reddit. He's like, nah, I ain't gonna lie. I just be looking it up on Reddit. No, but they have like they have like probably libraries dedicated to saving that stuff. I wouldn't be surprised.
The modern library of Alexandria. So yeah, I always thought it's kind of weird how that kind of operates because there's not really anything stopping somebody from like screenshotting whatever and then just posting it somewhere else now. Unless it's like, I remember some of them saying like, oh, you could like copy strike stuff, but you'd have to know where it is.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because I mean, somebody's going to see it. Like there are people that pay money to see it. So somebody's going to get a hold of those files.
Yeah, it's not like, well, I mean, granted, who's paying for it? You know, I'm surprised at the people that admit to paying for it too. Some of them are like just like good looking guys, that are like, you know, have like a life and stuff. And they're like, yeah, I subscribe to OnlyFans. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Have you met these guys?
No, I mean, just like on the internet and stuff like that.
Okay.
I hope I don't know any people like that. Like, shit, I support sex workers.
You know, I think I remember you talking about something funny though. You said your friend, like he opened Instagram, right? Like, you remember this story? He opened Instagram and saw one of those thought videos.
you'd have to.
Okay, so I'll tell you the story for you because you can't remember your own story. So there is this guy you knew, and basically what was happening was he needed to show you something on Instagram, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, and he was going to send it to you. But then he opens the app, and like one of the first things on his homepage is like some thought shaking her ass or something like that. He likes the video and like scrolls over to what he needs to get you after the fact, and you're just like looking at him do it.
Yeah, I remember that. I didn't recognize it because it's not like a one-time thing. It happens literally every time he has to show me something on Instagram. I'm like, oh, bro, I got to show you this thing.
Okay. Well, anyway, I don't know what happened to your mic there. You know, I'm going to go on about that. Not that actually, you know, I wanted to talk about, like, you know, bar stories and all that. That actually might be good content right there because, you know, once you come back, you were telling me about something like, you know, the expensive drinks you had to pay for, which I actually think that was a pretty interesting story you were telling me.
Oh, the one that place.
Yeah. Well, you can tell that you can say the type of music they played.
I can. That's integral to the story, really. I just realized I accidentally muted myself while I was talking about that thing, or whatever. The gist of it was kind of there. He does that every time, basically. But anyway, I'm going to like a down, basically an area where like the nightlife is. So we'll just say that. With
many places have a downtown.
Huh?
Many places have a downtown.
Is it always in downtown though? Yes.
Almost always. Okay. I don't know when it's not. If it's uptown, it's probably ghetto as hell.
That's a good point. Okay, so I'm going to downtown. Not to be confused with Pound Town, but I'm going downtown.
Downtown. George, you have to go downtown.
Oh, okay. Yeah, now I got it. So I'm going there with my same buddy, by the way. And we're going, and he's like, yeah, don't worry. I know you're kind of tight of money, so don't worry. I'll cover you for this night. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, whatever. I'll pay you back next time I can, or whatever. Or maybe we'll like swap who pays for drinks or whatever, and it's fine. But anyway, we get into this club, and he's the one picking it, since he's kind of like the host of it, I guess. And he picks this one club that's like one of the more popular clubs in this area. It's the one that most of like the college people kind of go to. Except for like the other downtown area. But generally, if you're in this area, this is the place you're going to. And I guess for context, I'm not one that dabbles in the dark musically. I don't like it at all, to put it lightly. So we go into this club, and he's picking it, and it's got 5 stories. It's like, oh, don't worry, bro. It's like 5 stories of different music types, different DJs, bro. It's going to be fine. If you don't like it, we can move up or whatever. And I'm like, okay, cool. We get in, and it's just that. It's nothing but like urban music. And I'm just like, God damn. So then we go to like the other floors. I'm like, yeah, let me see what else is going on here. And it's just basic, very slight iterations off the same kind of music. And I'm just like, dude, there's no escaping this. But he's buying the drink. So I'm like, okay, fine. This is whatever. And then we've had like a few drinks, you know, we're like talking about, oh, which drinks is best for this? What drink should we get for that? And like, we're like sharing ideas and all that. And over the time we get back to the first floor, and he had already opened a tab on the 3rd floor. So I'm like, oh, you want to get another drink? He's like, yeah, bro, but my card's up on the 3rd floor. So, you know, if you want to get another drink, then we have to go back up there. I'm like, oh, okay, well, don't worry about it. I'll buy the drinks here, and we'll call this one even on me. And he's like, okay, sure, whatever. So I buy the drinks. I buy something very simple. It's 2 gin and tonics, which, I mean, it seems simple enough. Gin and like tonic and like a lime. That's it. And then the waitress or whatever, she gives us the drinks, and then she hands me the bill or whatever. This is just 2 drinks, by the way. And I get the thing, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, whoa, hold on. Maybe it's just like I can't see because we're in like a dark place. So I get my phone light, I look at it, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I nudge my buddy, I'm like, hey, is this normal? And he just doesn't really say anything when he sees it. So, because he was talking to some girl too, so he wasn't really paying attention. But at the same time, he didn't really make a big deal about it. So apparently it was normal. And the check was like $55 for 2 drinks. And I don't know, maybe that's like normal for like most people in like big cities or something like that, but I'm not used to that at all. And I definitely was not expecting to pay that much for 2 drinks. So I'm sitting there like, what the fuck? So I pay it, obviously, because I kind of have no choice. Yeah. And I leave like a tiny tip because I did not have money at the time. So I leave a tip. And then like later on, after the night ends, and like it's the next day after we both get home and all that, which that was an adventure. He texts me the next day. He's like, okay, so as I said before, I was paying for your drinks. Just pay me back whenever you can. I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, whatever. But now with the foreknowledge of how much 2 drinks were, I'm like terrified. And he's like, yeah, so we spent about like $600 the entire night. I'm like, what? What?
Yeah. So
and you owe me like 300. So I'm like, oh, fucking hell. For context, whenever you and I would go to like places like this, like it's like maybe 75 at the most for like the whole night.
Yeah, and I mean like 2 drinks would be like at or like, you know, a higher rate would be like $30.
Yeah, if that.
Before tip. Yeah, no, I'm saying at a higher rate than normal. Like I mean, well, if anything, I think the standard would be between the price of like 10 to 15. That's a normal range for 1 drink, no tip yet. Like at most it's like 15. That's the higher end, and 10's like usually like closer to the standard.
Yeah, I mean, I'm also known for being cheap, so I'm not sure if it's just me or if that's just like, I don't know. It seemed like exorbitant for no reason.
But it was. I mean, $55. You know,
for 2 drinks. Like if I was, because like he was buying like constantly, so obviously it wasn't phasing it. But if I was the one like buying stuff, I'd buy like maybe 2 drinks total the entire night.
Like my theory is either they literally were just charging you additional money for no reason, or they were actually just using top shelf liquor for every drink in the place.
That could be it.
Well,
but
you
would think
if
you didn't specify that they would just go for like the first thing they grab. And I guess maybe that is the top shelf stuff. I don't know. But who the fuck cares about like top shelf stuff for a gin and tonic?
No, I will tell you, I've tried. I went to a bar one time, tried like a top shelf Long Island. Once I tried the non-top shelf, it just wasn't the same. It didn't taste as good. It may have just been the triple sec. I don't know. I mean, I don't think they would even use different triple sec. I don't know what it was.
Maybe I just haven't. I mean, when I had the drink, it didn't taste any different from like a regular gin and tonic. So,
yeah, I don't know. Yeah. So
my hypothesis was like, maybe it's just that venue in particular, which is what it seems to be. Because it's so popular, they can get away with like raising the prices and nobody else notices, because most of the people that go there won't go to the other clubs in that area either and see that they're like way cheaper.
Now, see, the demographics of this club are very inclined to spend a big amount of money partying at night and on nothing else.
Yeah, that's the other part. So on top of that...
Well, Hellcats. They also buy Hellcats and gold chains.
Yeah.
When the dealer asks, how the hell am I going to sell all these Hellcats?
I mean, if you're dealing with a primary demographic of that, which they were, then you know you can just, like, even if they know the price is high, it's like almost like a sign of status to spend as much money as possible on like something that doesn't need to be that expensive for any reason whatsoever.
Like a section.
Yeah, there's like really no reason to get a section at all. I could not. I can understand why, but like at the same time, you could. It's not that hard to just like walk up to somebody and talk to them.
But see,
and it's not like it's like it's not like it's impossible for it to like get anywhere, because otherwise everybody would be buying sections. But you don't
bitches love the section.
They do, but by definition, the sections are limited. So like. Usually if it's like one guy, maybe 2 guys or whatever, and like a bunch of girls, realistically, they're only going to take like 1 girl each.
But see, you know that one club where like they're like, we saw like they would sell sections to people like VIP, like they'd sell it, but then there would just be a bunch of people crammed behind some ropes. Like they wouldn't even be sitting down. They'd all just be like standing up in this like tight packed like anchovy box.
What's the point of it being a section at that point? It's just like half the club.
You're just like point. On the floor. It's as if you're on the floor, except for even more cramped. And it's harder to get drinks because you have to get out of the ropes.
And then like when you come back, you might not have enough space.
Like, are there even more high quality women in that section? Probably not.
Seem like it.
Probably not.
Sections are a scam.
Yeah. So, what exactly is off limits, here to go on about? Should we talk about what happened on Halloween?
Oh,
no. Maybe another time.
We'll leave that for another one.
Okay. I dressed up as a magical kind of people.
A gnome.
Well, not quite.
Gnomes are magical.
More like maybe a leprechaun. They like gold.
We'll go into more detail at a later date. I'm not saying no.
Yeah.
But probably not for the first run of this.
Yeah. All right then. Okay. How about side boob or under boob?
In terms of what?
Well, it just, that's the question. I don't even know if I should specify.
I'm inclined to say under boob.
Yeah. That is the true answer. With the side, it's like
side boob.
And what do you really get out of that? What do you get out of the side boob? It's just kind of like you're extending outward,
Yeah.
It doesn't make much sense to want that more.
I mean, it's nice.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, it's like compared to this,
to find it more visually appealing says something about, your priorities being out of order.
That reminds me, actually, I have a buddy of mine who's he's into the unorthodox body parts for his attraction. One of them is
feet?
No, I wish it was that. That is armpits. One of them though. Yeah, that's it. And I was trying to justify it. I was talking to somebody, I forgot who it was, and I was like, okay, I could maybe see if it's like an armpit and it's attached, because then you see side boob, I guess. But at the same time, it's yeah, that's still why? Is
it women's armpits specifically, or is it just all armpits?
Well, he's not gay, so
okay.
I guess.
But the question being for real, at that point, it's if it's not necessarily having to be attached to anything, is it just kind of neutral as far as what he likes, when it comes to an armpit? Maybe he doesn't like guys, but he sees an armpit on a guy and he's like, oh, well, that kind of reminds me of this one,
That's a very good question. Because I would assume the armpit has to be attached to breasts. But you would think that if that was the case, he would just specify side boob.
Right. It's
but he is not.
Yeah. It's let's say you find carrots attractive, but a woman's holding a carrot and a man's holding a carrot, and you still find the carrot the same as far as how appealing it is. It's just not because the woman or the man's holding it. It's because it's a carrot. But then at that point, if you find the man holding the carrot attractive, aren't you still kind of gay?
Yeah. You'd have
exactly.
To be.
Exactly. I just broke the code there.
Yeah. He needs a...
Well, you need to get him to specify before it's too late.
I guess I do. I'll have to... He's hard to get a hold of in terms of speaking, a busy schedule. But I'll have to make this a dedicated quest. Huh?
Is he a retard? You said he's hard to get a hold of as far as speaking?
Oh, I meant he's just not available.
That's why he likes armpits. Probably got dropped on his head.
Yeah. I don't know. I blame it on just being chronically online.
Yeah.
And anime.
Am I supposed to reference what I do outside of this, or as far as my own endeavors, or not? Because I was going to say, as far as on Discord, I had a friend that posted a picture of him holding the Bible or something, and he's a Catholic. And so what it was is that this other guy that we know said, in response to the post, he said, I can tell you're Catholic based on your fingers.
You remember that?
Yeah. The guy had like, I mean, I guess they're like kind of like big fingers. I don't know, like chubby a little bit. Like, I don't know, maybe it was the nail shape, like being a little bit like of a short nail compared to like a long, like like the pink part. I mean, like, it's probably like a shorter pink, like with a bigger finger, like, maybe he was trying to say it looks like a toe or something. I don't know. Maybe that's the roast he was trying to do there. But anyway, I was hanging out with that guy and he actually brought it up. I think he was hurt by that. He was like, he said,
the guy that fingers were in the photo. He was like,
I was hanging out with him,
genuinely upset.
No, he wasn't like genuinely. He was just talking about the guy that said that about him. He's like, oh, I know that guy's stupid because when I questioned him on, the topic they were talking about is denial of a certain event, which we will not name. But anyway, he's like, yeah, this guy, he's stupid. He's not actually giving real arguments. I could tell he was scared of debating me. And also he talked about my fingers.
So he brought it up like that's like, well, yeah, but he brought up my fingers. Can you believe that? My fingers?
Yeah. I could tell he was insulted by it. Well, I don't know if he, I guess, he felt some way about it. It made him feel enough to say it back to me.
Do you think he, the one that actually gave the comment, was actually being serious, or was he just saying it to troll?
About the fingers or about the
the fingers.
We don't want to go into it. It's funny. It's funny what he said about that other thing though. The fingers. Yeah, no, he was probably, I don't know. He could have been serious. He's very race realist and genetic, essentialist. I don't know what I'd call it. I guess that, but yeah, he'd probably say something about the guy's genes, about those fingers. He'd be like, yeah, you clearly were bred with this form of European, which is inferior to this form of European.
See, do you think, because at a certain point it comes off as you're just autistic.
Is he not?
You're do you think he's autistic?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's possible.
Because he seems to have a wealth of knowledge on very specific topics.
That's what autistic people do. But the thing is, my friend, the one with the fingers, that's just going to be what he's known as. He thinks I have Tourette's. He actually told me this the other day because I had a song stuck in my head and it uses the hard R N word, right? And so I can't really sing it on here, but that's the chorus. The chorus literally is that over and over. It's like a meme song. You've probably seen it on Instagram. I don't know. I put it in Discord. No, it didn't. It didn't.
Was the artist black?
It was like a meme song. I don't know exactly. There was one guy out that featured that definitely was from the sound of it. But the point being, it's a very catchy song. So I was repeating some of the lyrics from it. It wasn't that, I'm not saying it was the chorus. I'm not saying I was saying that part over and over though. That kind of is the attractive part of it. No, there's a different part of it. From the beginning, on the verse, but I kept singing it over and over, while we were at this gun show. Right. And I had to say it quiet, obviously, because it's not you can just say that out loud. I know there's a lot of old white people at gun shows, but it's not there's no black people. So you kind of got to keep quiet with that. But right. I was singing it a little bit and I was I gotta pause at the naughty word. Right. And eventually when we got out, then I did the whole thing, but then I still wanted to hear the song again. Cause I blasted it in the car before we went, then I blasted it again. And I was like, wow, that actually feels a lot better. It felt like I was holding in a sneeze. And he's like, that's what they say about people with Tourette's. That's what they say about them. They're holding in a sneeze.
Yeah.
So I may have. He thinks I have a light form of Tourette's.
I do remember you saying that before about a different word. But you're like, damn, I had to get that out.
Yeah.
I thought you were joking, but now I think about it.
No, it's a real I wouldn't call it a sensation though. I mean, it is a feeling. It's I have to I don't have to say it, but I feel the need. I feel an urge to literally expel it from my lungs into my mouth and outward.
Yeah.
I feel an urge for real, but also funny story that I mentioned on my Discord as well. There was this, these Asian ladies or Asian family at that gun show. And it's weird. It's a weird setting for Asian people. I know there's the rooftop Koreans, but it was such a strange setting. And
you don't really associate Asians with
firearms,
enthusiasts for firearms. Yeah.
or with power, you know. But this lady, like, she just goes like, and I straight up, like, because of how stereotypical it sounded, and because of such a weird placement for this lady, and it sounded so just Asian, you know. I was on the verge of laughing. Like, I like literally, you know, that look on your face when you have to like hold in like the bubble of air that's about to like burst out from your mouth because you can't like hold in the laugh. Like, I had to turn around because of how bad that was. I was about to like just burst out, like, seriously, in front of their face. Like, they were like 3 feet away from me and I was about to do that to them. It was funny though. It really was.
Shit, I was going to ask something. I totally forgot what it was now.
Did it have to do with the gun show?
Yeah, it did.
You know, there was while you think about that, there was this weird lady there. Like, she had like she was selling these what were they, the holsters, but it's not the hard ones. I don't know if you know the difference. There's like the hard ones that you can like slide the pistol right into, which are nice. I really like those. But then there's like these ones that are like a soft pouch where you just kind of like slide it in. It's like a piece of fabric that you almost do it in. You can tuck it in or put it out, but it's weird. No, it's like an apron, like it's like a cloth apron almost. You know, I don't like it. You know. It's like a little
I don't know if
fabric.
I enjoy that.
It's like a sort of Velcro belt or something like that you put around, and it's like a pouch in front of it. I hate it. You know, it's like an uglier fanny pack. And so like she was trying to show it to me, and this lady, I don't know, she probably had some problem or something in her mind. I don't know, but you know, she was weird. She started showing it to me, and she like lifts up her shirt to say you can tuck it in. And bro, I saw that like cellulite on her stomach, and I was like, ugh.
Yeah, some people
I don't know why she'd do that.
Lifting up their shirt. I don't even lift up my shirt. I'm not even fat. Yeah. I just don't do it.
You know, the thing about her is like she was tucking her stomach into her pants and she was doing that.
She had the muffin top.
Yeah. You know, if you have that, do you think it's wise to stuff into your pants? I mean, I think it's more of a woman thing to do, but do you think that's wise?
Oh, like just like no holster, just stuff it in your pants?
No, not a firearm. I'm saying the fat on your stomach. Like women, they generally are more inclined to put their pants over the fat on their stomach, whereas men will just let it all hang.
God, that just looks fucking gross.
But that's what women do. Even only the fat ones can do it. But I mean, like, I'm just saying, like, that's what they usually do. Like, they're trying to hide the fat on their stomach, so they do that. Or they put like the pants way above the waist. Like, they'll put it like over the belly button. Yeah,
dude,
makes them look like a pear.
It makes them look like they can waddle to like a tuba sound.
Yeah. Like a tomato on stilts.
Exactly. It just does not look good. I mean, granted, it doesn't look good the other way if they just wore pants normally. They just kind of need to like not just stop.
Yeah. Yeah. Lay off the what are they even eating? Like chips?
Probably fries.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fries are, see, I've been thinking about this for a while because I've been going down the nutrition rabbit hole and learning about this, that, and the other. And it made me think of like our mutual acquaintance, the blonde one, how he just kind of eats whatever. But he's like, well, he's not like jacked, but he's in good shape.
Yeah, I mean, usually it's easier to do that when you're younger. Like, not everybody has a hard of a time doing that, staying in shape. But I mean, if you're just eating whatever forever, it's going to catch up at some point. I mean, obviously, like a lot of the stuff you're like the processed foods, especially, are just going to like start fucking with your metabolism.
Yeah. So do you subscribe to the idea, because it's common that people just say, oh, your metabolism gets worse over time. Is that just a myth? Because that's what I'm thinking. Now it seems like it's more a result of what you've been eating over time instead of it just being like something you can't stop.
Yeah, because I mean, like there are men that in their later age in life, they look great for what they are, pause, but like they actually don't look like shit. And so I think a lot of it is actually maintaining your muscle mass. If you let your muscle mass go to hell, so does your body. That is like one of the key factors in actually staying vital in your old age.
Yeah, I've noticed it because, I'm like into like old school rock and metal bands and stuff like that. It's like over time, obviously, they start aging, and some of them look really good for their age, and some of them just look like, Jesus, man. You look like a zombie, bro. Like, what did you do? And then they'll be like comparable ages. Huh?
You see Ozzy?
Ozzy actually doesn't look too bad last I saw him.
No, well, I'm not saying he's like a horrendous case, but what I am saying is like you see, I think it was him that had like a back surgery and he got like fucked up. He's like crippled now.
He is?
I think it was him. I saw like somebody had like, I think it was him with the tumor in the spine or something.
You know, I heard from another buddy of mine because I was going through like a Black Sabbath discography run earlier, and we were talking about like how Sharon kind of screwed up the band and all that. And he was saying something like, yeah, like he was like impersonating Sharon, and it wasn't like through voice, it was like through text. But he's like, yeah, like you get back on the stage, you need more money. Even if you had like a injury, we need you to keep making money. I was like, what is he talking about? So I guess this is what he was talking about, like the back surgery, because I didn't know about that.
Ozzy Osbourne had a spinal tumor. He has Parkinson's disease. Apparently, he said at best he has 10 years left.
Shit. Yeah. I'm completely in the dark on this.
Yeah.
Shot in the dark, one could say. That is a good song, though. Yeah, shit. That sucks. You know what sucks even more, though? I know you don't listen to the albums, but I did that discography run, and you know about like the reunion album, right? With Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
Yeah, 13. So I went from as many albums I could get through that are actually on Spotify, because Sharon Osbourne, I'm assuming, got rid of like a good chunk of their 80s and 90s albums, like at least 4 of them. But anyway, the ones I did get to listen to none of them were bad, just some were not as good as the others. But the one I got to 13, it was almost like a parody of like the older stuff. Like the first song, like, do you know the song Black Sabbath by Black Sabbath off the album Black Sabbath?
Yeah.
The first song, it's completely the same structure as that song. And it's like, okay, this is a little on the nose. And then like 3 songs in, you know Planet Caravan, right? From Paranoid. It's literally the exact same song almost, with just like different lyrics. And it's like, dude, what are you guys doing? Stop.
Jeez.
And then to make it even better, you know, like the sound effect in the beginning of Black Sabbath, the like rain and the church sound and all that?
Yeah.
The album ends with that exact same sound.
Well, if you think about it, it's like a loop. It looped all along.
It sucked. It was a fucking shitty loop.
You know,
it's not even a real loop either, because they got rid of like a shit ton of albums. It's like as soon as Ozzy left the band, they did 2 albums and then nothing else.
It's like what rappers do on some of their albums. They'll like put some sound at the end that makes you think it's like, oh, it's looping back to the beginning of the album, or like the beginning of my series.
Point of view. You're listening to Kendrick Lamar.
What was it? How did it go? I came. Isn't that how it went?
Something like that.
I was in the hotel room. I came.
Can you imagine doing that in real life? What would the woman think? You're like, oh shit, is this guy all right?
Yeah. Have you not seen the Donald Trump one? Like, this isn't even like, I don't even think it was an edit on that, because like he was just saying, like he was pretending to like lift the bar, like he was like doing like a squat or something, like trying to do the overhead. But I saw a longer version of that. He like yelped. He's like, dude, seriously, like Trump made that noise exactly. I'm serious. It was weird. I've never seen that in my life. That was weird.
It was very uncomfortable to watch.
Mama, I'm gonna do it.
I saw in the comments that he was like he was doing his thing where he like makes fun of like other people that he doesn't like or whatever. Who could that possibly be? I have no idea. My
interpretation was that he was trying to mock like some of like the trans athletes.
You think he would do that? Because he had like a whole thing about like LGBT when he was
but his thing is like he wants to get them out of sports though. Like he doesn't want them competing in the like opposite sex sports. So yeah, he wouldn't support like a man being in women's sports.
See, but you would think he wouldn't make a big deal about that, because like the other guy, he did like his whole campaign was about being like anti-LGBT, and it kind of screwed him over.
What guy?
DeSantis.
Oh.
So you would think like, well, then again, I mean,
I'm not even paying attention to that at this point.
It's like super. I feel like he could like do anything and people wouldn't really care.
Are you even paying attention to these primaries?
No, not the slightest.
Exactly. It doesn't matter. It's like they're just trying to get people so involved in politics still. It's like, bro, I just don't give a shit.
I only like see things on the very off occasion, because I don't even look at political stuff on like Instagram or anything like that.
Yeah.
On the off occasion where a meme comes up, That's about it.
I think the Vivek memes are incredibly funny just because it's so funny to make memes out of an Indian guy.
I have not seen any Vivek memes.
Yeah. Well, see, I pointed out initially that the problem with him is that he's Indian. And then, but then, like, you know, there was the whole like thing where he was having that fight with who was it, Nikki Haley or something? Is that who it was? That the other isn't she the other Indian woman? She's the other Indian.
Yeah. The one where you wouldn't know.
They were like, "Fuck you, bloody! No, you bloody bastard! Fuck you!" Yeah, and then there was, well, I guess this was one guy that was pointing this out to me. I don't know if it got turned into a meme, but Vivek, like they asked the candidates about their like favorite songs, and Vivek had like Imagine Dragons like more than once on his playlist.
Oh, wait, hold on. Why would you ask that?
I guess they want to see how relatable these candidates are to people. It's like, oh, he likes the same songs as me.
Oh my God, he likes Taylor Swift.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's literally just a ploy to get people like to relate to politicians on a level that's like, oh, this person is literally me.
So transparent, though. You have to be a fucking moron for that to work on you.
But see, people have already been like inundated with so much political propaganda that at this point, there are plenty of people that are just that moronic. Like there has literally just been a chud race created because of how much like sludge, how much goy slop has just been put in the feeding tubes of the average American.
Oh God. Oh God. Like if you fall for that, you probably shouldn't be voting. I mean, like,
well, those are the people meant to vote.
That's fair, but God. I cannot imagine somebody that's like voting age, which is what, 18 still, right? I heard they were like trying to lower it, but I don't think that actually went through. But someone that's like 18, a full-fledged adult, well, maybe not by these like standards, but supposedly a full-fledged adult, and you know, sees fucking Vivek says, "Yeah, bro, I just love Radioactive," and they're like, "Oh my God, oh, he likes Radioactive. I gotta vote for him."
Yeah,
like. What?
Oh yes, that is my favorite song. Very powerful. Wow. No one has courage.
Okay, I got to do some research on the Vivek memes when I get a chance. Then.
Yeah, well, I didn't even know if that one was made about him. I like imitating like Indian memes and then just putting them in his place because it just makes such a good stand-in.
Jesus.
Hello, tech support.
He's like having like a call with like another world leader. He's just like, "Hello, tech support."
Have you seen the one? What was that? Is that like Johnny Quest, where it's like the old white guy and the little Indian kid?
Yeah, like Native American Indian.
Yeah.
That's I think that's it.
Somebody put that meme, and they're like Mike Pence driving Vivek home from the debates.
It's not even the right kind, but it still works.
Yeah, well,
it does look a ton like Mike Pence, though. It's got like that. Well, I mean, yeah, I guess 50s like cartoon protagonist looked. He looks like somebody you'd seen like the Incredibles.
Yeah. Okay. So what can people expect from this show going onward, though?
That's a good question. I guess just chill conversations like this.
This was pretty good. I think it was pretty good. I
hate the term chill, but I mean, it kind of encapsulates what this is. Not really.
Honestly, just bringing anybody on for a conversation like this works, you know?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's kind of like, not to denigrate it, but throwing shit at the wall and see what sticks. But I mean, it works because it's just
in a good way because it's like improv, you know?
Yeah, and that's the best kind because it's just a conversation, and we have to be recording it. So
yeah. Well, see, I just start letting like myself go into a flow state where I'm just kind of letting like whatever I think of just come out, like how I talked about side boob or under boob. It's just that kind of thing where I'm like, what am I thinking about right now? What do I want to talk about?
Yeah, it's real like nice and organic, and like here's the thing: if you make it too like presentable and like official and all that, and like. There's another word I was thinking of, but you get the point. Then it becomes like, okay, well, I can't really relate to this. It just becomes like stale. Yeah, that's kind of like what like a Joe Rogan kind of thing works, is because he's at least he's really good at pretending if it's not true, but he's kind of just giving genuine reactions.
I like how Joe Rogan ends his shows. He's just kind of like, thank you for coming on, and he puts his tune on.
We should get a tune for this.
Yeah, exactly. Just kind of like say like, well, guys, it's been good. And then just kind of like fade into that. No, like too formal of an outro. We don't need that.
That's true. I could make something for that maybe. Or maybe get like royalty free music.
Let's add it.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like live, so we could always edit it in post. Anyway, I guess we'll stop it here then.
Yep.
All right. Thanks for tuning in to
the podcast
ever. Come back here for more videos, I guess. Yeah. You want to say anything before you log off?
N.
All right, fair enough. All right.